of Stories. I am Melinda. Today I'm going to do the e-reader book tag. I have to admit something, I was not actually tagged on this, but I saw MJ do this tag and I thought this would be a good one to start. So I'm going to give it a try. I actually just this morning had a discussion about e-readers with a friend, so this is very timely. There's 8 prompts, so I will go through them. I'll also put all the prompts in the description box below. So if anyone would like to join in on this, they are welcome to do so. So the first question is, what was the first e-reader you ever owned? What was the reason for getting one? And were you a reluctant convert or an eager one? This is kind of a loaded question. So the first e-reader I ever owned was an older model Kindle. I had gotten it for Christmas from my in-laws and I was incredibly reluctant. I had told my husband, he had sort of, tested the waters beforehand and asked me if a Kindle might be something I was interested in. And I said, absolutely not. I don't want to read Kindles. And then I got one. So yeah. So I was very reluctant about it. This was, probably 2008 or, well, no, it's probably about 2010 or 11. And, it took me a little while to get into it. I really love the feeling of books and turning pages and all that. So it was a gift. I would never have bought one on my own. Now I am still e-reading, so obviously I changed my tune on that one, but it took a little while. But yes, I was reluctant. And what e-reader do you use now? And what e-readers do you own? So I have 2 e-readers that I use now. I am on my 3rd Kindle, I think. The other ones I just kind of wore out. This is my Kindle Paperwhite. So I have this one. We also have, my daughter has one. So we have a couple others in the house, but we have my Kindle in Paperwhite, and then I have my Kobo Libro. So I use both of these. I use my Kobo more than my Kindle at this point, but I do still use my Kindle. I will be using it at some point this month to read an ebook that I have on here for one of my book clubs. And then next year, when I do my year-long read of Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, or as I like to call it, Dr. Strange and Mr. Norrell. When I do that, I have that book on my Kindle, so I'll be using my Kindle then. Do you read digitally on multiple devices or always on the same device? If you use multiple devices, how do you decide which one to use? So I have pretty much made the switch from Kindle to Kobo. So anything that I read on my Kindle at this point is stuff that I already own. That's pretty, I'm one of those people who doesn't like to buy books from Amazon. I'm not one of those people who refuses to use Amazon. I use Amazon quite a bit, just not for books. And so, I have found that the prices of books on Kobo are the same as they are on Kindle. So I might as well give it to, a Canadian company instead. But, so yeah, I usually, if it's a book that I get from the library or it's a newly purchased book, it comes on my Kobo. If it's a book I've had for a while, it's already on my Kindle. The next question, do you still read physical books? If so, how do you decide which format to read a certain book in? As you can tell, yes, I still read physical books. The way I decide what format to read in is kind of a tricky one. I think mostly, it's not that tricky actually. I would say more often than not, a new book that I purchase at this point is going to go on my Kobo. I still belong to the Book of the Month Club. There are books that I do enjoy purchasing from certain bookshops. For example, books by Indigenous authors I always order from Birch Bark Books in Minnesota. So those books are obviously print. My Agatha Christie's are all in print because I want them on my shelf. So usually it's Kobo at this point for new purchases unless it comes through one of those. But as far as books that I really make a point of, actually here's a point that just popped into my head. If I'm reading nonfiction, that tends to be going to be on print. Mostly because those are books that I kind of have to go back and forth in. There might be a list of, there might be maps or a list of people involved or something in it that I want to be able to thumb back and forth in. Those sorts of things I find hard to do in e-reader. So those I would definitely read in print. Thing you dislike about reading ebooks. You miss that sort of tactile turning the pages. I miss that. I miss being able to put it on my bookshelf when I'm done. I miss being able to take a nice picture of it for Instagram. But other than that, there's not really that much I miss reading between the two. I do, I think I looked at my stats so far this year. I've been reading more print books, but it's still a huge chunk of my reading is on my e-reader. Question number 6. Would you ever ditch physical books completely and become a sole ebook reader? If yes, why? If no, why not? So this is kind of a hard emotional question for me to answer. I actually do see a time when I would give up physical books, but not because I want to. I have some eye issues. They started, I don't know, a while ago. And I had LASIK to try and help it. It kind of actually made it worse. And so sometimes it's just really hard for me to read physical books. Even on a good day, I can only read physical books for so long. It's just a lot easier for me to read on my e-reader. I don't see this eye issue getting any better. In fact, I see it getting worse. So yeah, I do think there's a time that I will probably just read on my e-reader for comfort. I don't want that to be the case because I still want to be able to have books and read them and hold on to ones that I love that will go to my children when I pass on for them to deal with. But yeah, I think I don't like it, but yeah, at some point there's going to be a time when I just do e-reading. It's just so much easier on my eyes. Number 7, where do you get your ebooks? Kindle store, library loans, third-party websites? I get my ebooks from either the Kobo website or from the library. As I said, I have found that the prices on Kobo are generally the same as they are on Amazon. I do keep a wish list on Kobo that I go through to see if anything's on sale. I think for a lot of cases, ebooks are overpriced. I'm going to be honest. I think you should pay something because writers need to be compensated for their work. And I don't like the idea of just giving books for free because, hey, they're an ebook. I think you should pay something. I don't think I should be paying the same price for an ebook that I pay for a print book. And there have been times when I have found ebooks are more expensive than the print books. So I tend to make a wish list on Kobo and then go through it. And when something's on sale, I buy it. I don't like to pay anything more than $15 for an ebook. And even the $15 ones, those are new releases that I can't wait for. For example, World of Curiosities by Louise Penny. You betcha I paid full price for that baby, for it to come right to my Kobo the moment it's released. But generally, I try to buy my ebooks on sale. And as for the library, I have found, that's another reason why I went from Kindle to Kobo, is it's just so much easier on a Kobo to get books from the library than it is from a Kindle. My library has a number of ebooks that you can't get on your Kindle, but you can get all of them on Kobo. So, that's Kobo and the library is where I get books. Last question is tag some fellow booktubers. And I really thought about this one. So I'm new to the BookTube community and I'm still meeting people and learning people and figuring out who does ebooks and who doesn't and who does tags and who doesn't. So I didn't know who to tag. So I'm not tagging anyone this one, except if you watch this video and you are an e-reader and you haven't done this tag before, consider yourself tagged. Just tag back to me so I can go watch your video too. So that is the ebook reader book tag. And I want to thank MJ for reading this life, for doing this tag so I could find it, and then I would do it. So I will link back to her as well. Again, all the prompts will be in the description box below. Thanks so much, and I will see you in the next video.